This Escalade came into my shop with 48,000 miles, every oil change done on time, and an engine that needed a $12,000 repair. Most AFM lifter failures on this 6.2 V8 show up much later than that, commonly somewhere in the 80 to 120,000 mile range. This one didn't even make it to 50,000. Because of one sound the owner had been hearing on cold starts for a long time and never had checked out. Today I'm showing you that habit first, and 12 more that are quietly costing Cadillac owners thousands, one normal feeling habit at a time. Ignore a cold start tick for a few months and you can turn a $200 fix into a $12,000 engine. Habit number 1, ignoring that ticking sound and calling it normal. I hear this from owners constantly. It ticks a little on cold starts, clears up after a minute, so it must be fine. Sometimes it is. Direct injection engines make some noise by design. The conversation is almost always the same. It's been ticking for months, but everybody online said these engines just do that. By the time they finally bring it in, the lifter has already started eating the camshaft. But a tick that has stuck around for months, especially with any misfire, rough idle, or warning light, is not something to wait out. Once a lifter actually seizes, it starts grinding the camshaft instead of rolling on it, and that damage does not undo itself. The fix? Get a persistent tick looked at, and have them check for misfire codes while they're in there. That one visit is the difference between a lifter and a camshaft. You do not want a $10,000 repair. Warm the engine for at least a minute before you drive off, and keep it gentle for the first couple of minutes after that. Habit number 2, driving hard on a cold start. It's 15 degrees out. You're late. You start the Escalade and go straight onto the highway. Nothing feels wrong, but overnight oil thickens, and it takes a little time to fully reach the bearings, cam lobes, and AFM lifters after startup. Give it that minute, then ease into your drive instead of flooring it cold. It costs you nothing but a slightly slower first mile, and it's one of the easiest habits on this entire list to fix. Here's a question worth asking yourself. Do you actually know what oil is in your Cadillac right now? Habit number 3, trusting the oil life percentage on the dash without knowing the answer. That number assumes you're running oil that matches your owner's manual. If you're not sure what's actually in there, the percentage stops meaning anything. I've seen the monitor read 20% left, while the oil on the dipstick looked like it had been in for twice that long. And the owner had no idea anything was wrong because the dash never said otherwise. The fix. If you know your spec is correct, trust the number. If you don't know, change it this weekend and start fresh from something you can actually verify. This $4 decision can cost you $4,000. Habit number 4, cheap oil filters. Most owners grab whatever's cheapest at the counter without a second thought. In my shop, we only run AC Delco or Mobil 1 on these because the bypass and anti-drain back design are built for this exact application. I had an Escalade come in last year on its 3rd owner. Cheapest filter every single time because nobody had ever told him it mattered. Nothing catastrophic yet, but the wear pattern on those filters told the whole story before I even asked what filter he was running. I can't promise a bargain filter will fail you. What I can tell you is the good one costs $4 to $6 more, and an AFM lifter job runs $4,000 to $8,000. On a system this sensitive, that's not a gamble worth taking. Put the wrong fuel in a Cadillac that requires premium, and the damage happens somewhere you'll never see or feel until the bill arrives. Habit number 5, running regular gas in an engine that calls for premium. Check your manual for the actual word. Recommended gives you flexibility. Required does not. And every supercharged CT5V Blackwing, every twin-turbo CT6, and a handful of other Cadillac engines say required. Modern knock sensors will quietly protect the engine by pulling timing, so you won't feel anything wrong day to day, which is exactly why this habit survives so long. The fix. If the manual says required, use it, especially before anything that loads the engine hard. If you only drive 3 miles to work and 3 miles home every single day, your Cadillac never really gets the chance to clean itself out. Habit number 6, nothing but short trips. Every cold start puts some moisture into the oil, and a drive that reaches full operating temperature burns that moisture back out. A 3-mile commute never gets there, so the moisture stays, and over weeks, that turns into sludge. The fix? Once a week, give it a real highway-length drive and let it hold operating temperature the whole way. I see this constantly with retirees who downsize their driving without realizing the car needs the opposite. More sustained runs, not fewer. That's 6 habits down, and this next one is exactly the kind of detail that's easy to overlook if nobody ever told you what to look for. I put together a free Cadillac buyer red flag checklist with the suspension checks, transmission behavior, and recalls I look for before recommending any used Cadillac to a customer. Save it to your phone and use it during the inspection. It's completely free. First link in the description. Shutting off a hot turbo the second you park can quietly end its life years early. This one is specific to turbocharged Cadillacs, the CT6 twin turbo, the ATS 2.0T, and similar engines. So if you're running the naturally aspirated 6.2, this is not your habit. Skip to the next one. Habit number 7, killing the engine right after hard driving or a long highway stretch. That turbo can be spinning near 150,000 RPM, and the oil sitting in the bearing housing when you shut down has nowhere to go while everything is still scorching hot. Over time, that cooks into carbon that restricts oil flow. The fix? After towing, hard acceleration, or sustained highway speed, give it a couple of minutes of gentle driving or idle before shutdown. Ordinary daily commuting, do not worry about it. This is about the driving that actually works the turbo hard. I've seen this exact pattern on CT6 owners who never missed an oil change in their life and still ended up needing turbo bearings replaced years before they should have. More oil does not mean more protection. Habit number 8, overfilling. Go meaningfully above the full mark and you risk aerating the oil. And aerated oil can't hold pressure the way it should, which matters even more on an AFM engine. The fix? Check the level on level ground after every oil change. And if it is over, have the excess pulled rather than assuming extra is a safety margin. It takes 2 minutes, and it's one of the easiest habits on this list to get right. Most owners think this transmission never needs service. That mistake has emptied a lot of wallets. Habit number 9, treating the fluid as lifetime and never touching it. The 8-speed in the ATS, CTS, and Escalade has a well-known shudder issue, a vibration during light throttle that shows up between 25 and 80 miles an hour that most owners blame on the tires. Most owners don't even call it a transmission problem. They tell me it feels like driving over rumble strips for a second. So they balance the tires, check the suspension, and spend money in the wrong places before anyone thinks to change the fluid. A proper fluid exchange runs $300 to $600. Wait until the torque converter itself is damaged, and that number goes well over $1,000. The fix? Check your actual maintenance schedule instead of trusting the word lifetime. And if you feel that shudder, get it diagnosed instead of chasing an alignment. This is the maintenance item almost nobody knows exists until the car starts shaking at every red light. Habit number 10. Never cleaning the intake valves on a direct injection engine. Fuel never touches those valve stems the way it does in older engines, so oil vapor bakes onto them instead, usually showing up somewhere in the 60 to 100,000 mile range, depending on the engine and how it's driven. The car still starts, still gets you to work. It just doesn't feel as smooth anymore. And that's exactly why so many owners ignore it for months. Owners chase coil packs and spark plugs before anyone thinks to look at the valves themselves. The fix? If you notice hesitation or rough idle that comes and goes, get the intake diagnosed. Walnut blasting is the usual repair, typically $400 to $1,000. Coolant that looks perfectly clean on the dipstick can already be years past protecting your engine. Habit number 11, treating it as a lifetime fluid. GM rates Dexcool at 150,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. And the years matter as much as the miles because the protection breaks down with age, even if the car barely moves. I've replaced more water pumps than I can count on Cadillacs where the coolant looked completely fine and was still years past its window underneath. The fix? Check the condition every 2 years regardless of mileage, and if it looks brown or murky, service it with the correct spec. Topping off the oil every month without asking why is treating the symptom, not the problem. Habit number 12, driving low and just adding more. Some consumption is normal on higher mileage engines, but a level that keeps dropping between services deserves an answer, not a top-off. On an AFM engine especially, low oil at the wrong moment, hard acceleration, towing, a hard corner is exactly when the lifters need consistent pressure most. The fix? Check the dipstick regularly and get a repeating drop investigated instead of normalized. Perfect service records do not always mean a healthy engine. Habit number 13, trusting the dealership without asking a single question. I've had customers who spent $8,000 over 2 years, every service on schedule, and the engine still needed real work because nobody ever asked what oil was going in or when the transmission fluid was actually done. A receipt proves something was billed. It doesn't prove the right thing was done. I'm not telling you to avoid dealerships. I send customers to good ones all the time. I'm telling you to ask questions because the owners who ask tend to spend less money over the next 5 years. The fix costs nothing. Ask what oil. Ask the certification level. Ask about the transmission and coolant, and keep the paperwork. You're paying luxury car prices. Start asking luxury car questions. 13 habits. None of them dramatic on their own. None of them trip a warning light by themselves. All of them real, and all of them add up quietly over the years. Which of these are you doing right now? Drop your exact model, your year, and your mileage in the comments below.